This is Eric Mwada, the educational trader. Now, personally, I don't like to trade stocks that have already made their major moves, and Apple is one of them. I just don't like, I've been in this business long enough to know that stocks come and go. There's no need to be completely tied to the news of yesterday's success stories. Having said that, I know for a fact that some of you like to watch this name for whatever reason. It's interesting, it's always in the media, and maybe you'd like to make some money out of it. What I think about this stock is right now, right here, and if you remember, I talked about this stock in my part 2 of the webinar, and I think the stock is a buy here. That's why I'm posting it for you guys. I don't personally want to trade it, don't care much for it. I believe there are better stocks, always going to be better stocks. Yesterday's major movers move on and new players come in. All right, so but let me share with you why I think the stock could be a buy for a trade here, or hold it for however long you want to hold it. Okay, on the hourly, take that low and this low. You see that the stock has come and made a double bottom here, as you know, going into announcements and all that stuff. So I think that is enough. That double bottom here on the hourly can set up for a move high. I see the stock is standing around right now at 505. So on the hourly, that's the reason why I think it could be a buy here. Let me share with you what the weekly looks like, and this is a chart I talked about in part 2 of my webinar, how to short strong stocks, only that I was talking about the fact that the stock has already formed a crossover here of the 10-week moving average and the 33-week moving average, and now we are seeing the opposite of a bad stock, which is a good stock, trying to break out above recent weekly closing high. So your entry point on a weekly basis is 502.33. That is the absolute line on the sand. 502.33. Stock is trading at 506. You can risk $4 to get in this stock, would be like probably a couple percentage points. So 502.33 is the line. If it stays above that, you want to hold it and see how far it goes. Also, I have to point this out. If the stock fails to hold 502.33, you want to get out. The reason why I say that is the stock broke down here on the RSI, which happens to be that break there, or that high, the high there. It's worked its way over many months and it's now hit this level once and is hitting it again. If it stalls and forms a double top like that, like this level here, the stock is going to peak around here and head lower. So you can go in the stock, but expect it and demand that it holds above 502. There's also another line here. The red line happens to be the lows of 08, and if you draw this line and extend it, it touches that low, that low, that low, and then the major break here was absolute break. This line is now being back tested, the red line. So there's double resistance here on the hourly for that stock. 502.33 is the line on the sand. Let's take a look at the daily. The daily for this stock needs to break out above 507.74, which is the recent highest daily close. I also like the fact that the 50-day moving average is now back above the 200-day moving average. So really, you can also use this as a secondary entry point down the road in the coming days, coming weeks, coming months. If the stock breaks out above 507.74, you can get some action here. So just consider that 507.74 is the highest daily close recently, and if it breaks out above that, it's a good buy. I want to take a look at the long-term hourly here before I conclude. And the long-term hourly shows that, and I've spoken about this for long, stocks has always struggled at this RSI level here. It's been an area of concern. It only moves when it breaks out above that level. Now, I think that this is an area, it broke down here recently, which happens to be this high here, and it's worked its way back to this line here and is now retreating. So I think the way I would look at it is just use that 502.33. If it moves back below that, then this sell point is being confirmed. If it breaks out, especially above that 507 level, which I spoke on the daily, If it breaks out above that 507, I think it was 74, then it's going to suggest that the RSI has also broken out, and it's also going to be breaking out here in price. So to conclude, I think the stock is in play here as long as it's holding above 502 on the weekly. Down the road, if it breaks out above 507, then you can also add on to that position. Eric Moada, it's not a stock I like to trade a lot just because stocks come and go, just like great players. They come, they go, they retire, other players come in the game. So don't like to talk about players that have already had their major move. Apple had its major move between 2003 and 2012. Peace and blessings.